So as you're listening to others, what else are you hearing? How's your imagination been piqued?
I'm actually kind of overwhelmed by all these ideas, to where I'm having trouble processing them all.
I like that people are visioning big, and I like the call Adam mentioned about becoming a beacon for the neighborhood. I think that would be a wonderful thing to happen here. I also see such like connection between what people are saying, and feel that there is, in as much as our visioning is individual, there is commonality as well.
I too am still processing a lot of the ideas, but I don't know. It all sounds perfect, and it's I guess something good to add on. But I know it will take time, like all things do. And I could just hope that we could one day be able to, bring it all together and make sense of it to a point where we're adding different elements like compassion, the outreach element, accepting people without expectations, and be able to throw a block party or go to different churches and, have forums such as this one, and definitely have a steady and sustainable relationship between, two churches right across the street from each other. That's the starting point, but yeah.
I don't know if this really answers the question, but the thing that comes to my mind is the importance of putting resources behind energy. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of times people have ideas and other people don't mean to be discouraging, but, things start heading the direction of, well, here's why that won't work, or, well, we tried to have a block party once and you can't do it. Like that's a great idea, but, it's not going to happen. And so instead of saying things like that and approaching it that way, even if you think something's not a good idea, if someone is excited about it, then supporting those things, and even if they don't work out well, I think that it just creates a lot more energy to move forward, to do other things, and to find ways to make things happen if people are more encouraging and supportive, rather than, I don't want to say discouraging, because I don't think people intend to be discouraging, but, you hear things like, well, we need to think through that, and we need to get more input, and we don't want to leave anybody out. And so it's all things that sound good, but what it ends up doing is squashing people's ideas, and so I think the more that you can encourage people and just kind of go for whatever somebody, and if it doesn't include everybody, at least if somebody has an idea and they're willing to do something, if you can just go in that direction, as long as there's energy to do something and you go in that direction, then I think more things happen and they get bigger and they bring on more energy and more possibilities, even if it's not really maybe what everybody thinks.
I was thinking a lot about communication, actually, during the midst of all this, because I think there are things coming up that are interesting and kind of fit the bill of what's going on, but how are we communicating about what's possible? So I know that on August 28th, like all the Wesley students are encouraged to worship at Mount Vernon Place in Asbury, actually, and they're going to do some fellowship here. So I heard, but I don't know how that, if that's getting communicated, how it's getting communicated, how is it getting planned, like what's that going to look like? I don't know. But that's something that we could think about in terms of what does that look like? Or the church conference is going to be joint between Asbury and Mount Vernon Place, and maybe there's the possibility of doing like the block party after, you know, that those kind of crazy things. And then also how there's already really cool stuff happening within each congregation, and how do we communicate that within Wesley too? I mean, like they're doing that whole series on neighborhood. I forget what it is, but anyways, but there's also really cool stuff happening, and how we do a better job of communicating what's happening now. And maybe people won't come, but maybe you'll get one or two from each congregation or institution that's coming to other people's what's already being planned, and that's a start too. And I like Kelly's point too of not discouraging sort of the ideas that emerge and the resources behind it. Yeah.
I mean, the Methodist knee-jerk reaction to something like this is to form a committee. Not have a committee. And I think a block party is so much better than a committee. So we'll have to have a committee to do the block party, but that's a compromise that I think I'm willing to make. But I do think that points to what may be a next step for these three communities is the relational aspect. That, I think our leadership has relationships with their counterparts at Wesley and with Asbury, but I don't think that trickles down very deep. That there aren't a lot of connections after you get past that, and it's something like shutting down the block. That not only is an opportunity to build relationships with the three partners, but to witness to the community about what it means to fellowship as three Christian institutions, and to invite, to provide hospitality to the neighborhood. That's something that isn't a luxury. That's something we are called to do. And I think it's an incredible privilege to get to do it in this place, and to be able to do it as partners is an incredible privilege. It's very exciting. Block party. I vote aye.